We are here today to celebrate the outstanding achievements of one of the brightest minds in the world of semiconductors, cell phones, Bluetooth, mobile satellites, IoT, software-defined cars, medical equipment, and industrial applications and more. This person's ability to anticipate market trends and adapt swiftly has cemented his reputation as a true trailblazer and a category creator. It is our honor to present the CXO of the Year Award to Sandeep Chennakeshu, the first such award in the annals of ATEA. Sandeep's visionary leadership and innovative approach have truly transformed several organizations, mentored many, and built several world-class, high-performing, large-scale global workforce. As the driving force behind some of the most groundbreaking initiatives, Sandeep has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible, setting new standards of excellence. Sandeep's passion to learn, write, and coach has fostered a culture of collaboration, empowerment, and remarkable success. Sandeep is the author of the book, Your Company, Your Castle, a must-read for any founder and CXO to build a great company to last. Through mentorship and industry involvement, Sandeep continues to inspire countless others to reach new heights. Sandeep's passion for nurturing the next generation of leaders is a core tenet of ATEA's mission and is truly commendable. Today, we salute Sandeep's exceptional achievements. This award is a testament to your relentless pursuit of excellence and your profound impact on the world of business. Congratulations, and may your journey continue to soar to new heights. Sandeep Chennakeshu, winner of the Maiden Tamil CXO Award.
Today, I was given a topic which was land, expand, grow. And I think they wanted me to talk about how does an immigrant entrepreneur bridge cultural gaps in America and succeed? Well, I've been here for 42 years, and I've never felt like an immigrant. I don't know why I need to feel like an immigrant. America offered me a lot. I got a PhD here, and I got great opportunities, like you saw this very flattering video. I don't know how much of that is true, but what I wanted to talk to you today is not about my journey. I did that in the last event. What I'm going to talk about today is someone I admire and one of the pioneering immigrant entrepreneurs in our country. And it's what did this gentleman teach me and how I have molded my life. Charlie Munger, who's probably the greatest investor of our generation, also admired him. The gentleman's name is James J. Hill. James Jerome Hill. He was a Canadian. He lived between 1838 and 1916. Okay, died at the age of 77. And by the time he was 77, when he died, he had amassed a wealth of $64 million. Today, that would have been $63 billion. So what was special about this guy? And we can all learn from this. The first is that when he was a young boy in a bow and arrow contest, he got injured and he lost his right eye. Then when he was 14, he lost his father. And he had only 9 years of formal education. And at that tender age, he had to go to work. So without an eye, without a father, working, he started to basically build his whole career. He loved mathematics, he loved English, and he loved land surveying. And he built upon this. He came to America, and in America, he became a bookkeeper for a steamboat company. So he learned accounting. The next thing he did was he went and he started working with wholesale grocers for freight forwarding. And he learned the supply chain of these wholesale grocers. They came through the Mississippi River on steamboat. And he learned that business. So what was he doing? He was actually building his toolkit for the future. Then he partnered with a guy called Norman Kitson, and he started a steamboat company. He started slowly building his wealth. A little later, he started basically getting involved with banks, and he learned the banking trade. At this time in America, the railroad companies were growing. You all know what JP Morgan and Rockefeller did, but little is spoken about this Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill had his eye on one particular railroad company, and that railroad company was called the St. Paul and Pacific Railroad. All railroad companies were losing money, but there was one great advantage for these guys. I don't know whether all of you know, America has 2.2 billion acres of land. And the government had given the railroad companies 10% of all America's property. Okay, 220 million acres. They gave them land grants to build these railroads. But many of them were bankrupt. Why? Because they were run by rich guys in New York. They didn't know how to run a railway. So James Hill decided he's going to study this. Remember, he was good at math, he was good at speaking English, and he was a land surveyor. So anyway, he needed $5 million to buy this bankrupt railroad, and he did. It actually became the Great Northern Railroad. And he decided, how is he going to run it? Well, he said he's going to run it himself, but he was going to plan how they laid the tracks. And he was going to go the entire route. And he did some very interesting things. The first thing he did is he said his railroad had to be, from point A to point B, it had to be the shortest route. It had to be the least slope or grade and the least curvature. Why? Well, his trains could run faster, and therefore he could shorten time for transportation. Okay? And then he also went and bought the most expensive rail tracks. They were Bessemer steel from England. And everybody said, why are you doing this? He said, well, I need to do that because I need the quality of my track so it won't wear out quickly. Using these principles, he actually built the railroad from all the way from Wisconsin out to Seattle. Okay, 8,000 miles. And he had another very interesting innovation. All the people building the track, he knew if the men were away in those days, it would take time for them to come back to the families. So why waste that time? He moved the entire families along the track and built townships along the way. Okay? Absolutely amazing individual. Right? And of course, he built this phenomenal railroad and he succeeded. He made a lot of money. There was a couple of interesting anecdotes. He knew every part of his railroad. He knew every driver of his trains. Right? And he knew everything about the entire business. So one day a farmer said that, hey, on my track, on your track, the drainage is so bad, it's flooding my lot. And he wrote this letter to James J. Hill. And James J. Hill's attention to detail was so high, he said, I know exactly where that is, and he sent a crew to go fix it. Okay? Absolutely remarkable. So somebody once asked James J. Hill, just before he died, he asked him, what is your motto in life? And James J. Hill said, it's work, it's hard work, it's intelligent work, and then it's more work. Okay? So that was really amazing. And so I looked at this guy's life and I said all the things he had done, and I won't go into more detail. Okay? But I asked myself, what can I learn from this incredible human being who lost an eye, lost his father, went to work at 14, and built this massive empire? Right? And I came up with these 3 quotes that I found, which I think every entrepreneur, wherever they're from, should learn. So the first one is by Bertrand Russell. And Bertrand Russell said that conquering fear is the first step to wisdom. If you are afraid, you will never learn. You have to first overcome that fear to learn. Always move out of your comfort zone regularly and get battle tested. Then you will develop technique, temperament. Okay? And it's only then are you truly tested. The second phrase I learned was that, remember James J. Hill learned a lot, despite the fact that he had one eye. He read a lot. And in those days, there was no internet, there was no Wikipedia, none of that stuff. So the second thing I learned is by Lord Thomas Dewar, who captured the second sentiment. And Lord Thomas Dewar said, the mind is like a parachute. It only functions when open. So the core is, please, learn as much as you can, learn from everyone, be curious to evolve. And the last statement comes from my favorite Prime Minister of Victorian England, Benjamin Disraeli. He was the first Jewish Prime Minister of Victorian England. And that's what James Hill also said. And essentially, the phrase goes like this: success is a product of unremitting attention to purpose. I leave you with those thoughts. Thank you all.